Hello and welcome to 5 Women Wearing the Same Dress. You remember the last time you went to a wedding? Do you remember who it was? Do you remember if you liked them? Do you remember if you didn't like them? Do you remember if you were bored? Do you remember what the bridesmaids were wearing? Well, here, today, we're going to get to see the inside workings of a wedding, what women really think, what they really think of the bride, what they really think of the dress, and everything else in between. My name is Heather Corwin. I directed 5 Women Wearing the Same Dress. This is my last production here at AU. I thank all of the students and the faculty and the community of Ashland for welcoming me into their hearts and into this theatrical home. Enjoy the show. Five Women Wearing the Same Dress is a play about 5 women who are standing up for a wedding, and they're standing up for a young woman they don't like very much. And in the bedroom is where all of the girl talk happens. And these women give each other hard times, enjoy each other's foibles, and celebrate being alive and the challenges of making choices. I think it could be argued that Tracy is the antagonist. She's brought all of these women here, none of them like her, and she's dressed them up like rejected China dolls. They're wearing these awful dresses, which are lovely in their awfulness. Thank you, Charlene Gross, costume designer. And given them hats, I mean, these hats are described as lampshades. The shoes are described as torture devices. It's a big, floofy, butt bow, ugly dress. And each of the women loathe the dress for different reasons. And I think it's also Tracy the bride trying to make sure she looks fabulous while her bridesmaids look terrible. These women are amazing. First we'll begin with Meredith, who is pretty much the protagonist in this play. She's the little sister of the bride. She's always been in the bride's shadow, and she gets to be a bridesmaid, which always a bridesmaid, never the bride.
Basically, her character is a very rebellious, angry at the world kind of character. During the wedding, she realizes a lot of these things that she hates about her family, and she attempts to hide in her room to get away from all of the craziness of the wedding, with her mother yelling at her, her sister getting all the attention. So she hides upstairs with her newfound friends, which happen to be Trisha, Mindy, Georgianne, and Frances, who is her cousin, who's a little dork.
Being at this wedding for Trisha is a little bit of a challenge. She is forced to kind of face a lot of things from her past, a lot of ex-boyfriends and one-night stands, past relationships with friends, and just a lot of people who really didn't like her. And so for her, it's difficult. She is a confident woman, but underneath that you see a lot of self-consciousness about having to face these people.
Then we have Georgianne, who was one of Tracy's best friends in high school and college, as well as Trisha's. And she's married and has a child, and the marriage isn't really a great success. I think she's the biggest underdog in this play because she's just trying to do the best she can, and she just doesn't do it very well.
Mindy is a 38-year-old, boisterous, outgoing, blunt lesbian. She is the sister of the groom in this wedding, and she is definitely not a fan of the groom's wife, Tracy. She is annoyed by Tracy because Tracy is stuck up, Republican, wealthy, and that's everything that Mindy is against. it's more important to her that she's happy and that she's enjoying her lifestyle and that she's enjoying who she is personally. Mindy seems to take people's breath away in more ways than one, and she seems to stun people by her outgoing personality.
Frances is a fundamentalist Christian. She believes in the word of the Bible, and then she believes everything is black and white, right and wrong. I believe that a lot of Frances's beliefs in life come from being lonely. I think that she grew up, I mean, she has an older sister, but I think that she spent a lot of time alone, and she was never exposed to much else, so that she found this in the word of Christ. And I believe that's where a lot of where her fundamentalism comes from.
I chose this play because I love the way these women discuss and challenge each other in their own belief systems. These women all have very distinct points of view.
Trisha has a very skewed vision of what love is. She sticks with what works. She has, tried the long-term relationships in the past, and they just didn't work for her because the guy was more after the one-night stand. So that's what she goes for, is the one-night stands. Trisha has been given a lot of crap in her life for what she believes, and she's been challenged on a lot of occasions. And she kind of takes all of that out on Frances.
Trisha is not anything like Frances. She doesn't believe in the same things that Frances does, and she doesn't believe in, she swears and she drinks, and Frances says, wow, this is bad, but it's not really that bad because Trisha is such a respectable person that it helps Frances change the way she sees the world, I think.
Frances finally, stands up for what she believes in, and yet Trisha starts to feel sort of that attacking. And she doesn't stand for it. She does not let anyone get away with it because she has before and it's hurt her. So I think that moment between Trisha and Frances is a very strong moment because it really shows that these women have strong beliefs and they won't back down from them, no matter what they are.
Meredith is the character that you see struggle with learning to love herself and learning to find acceptance through these women, through her newfound friends. And at the very end of the play, I believe it's her that overcomes the biggest hurdle in her life.
The relationship that Mindy has with Meredith is awkward at times because we're not sure if Meredith is actually bisexual or a lesbian, but there is some definite awkward tension between Meredith and Mindy because I bring out feelings in Meredith that she might not want to exist.
She kind of feels like she's getting invaded by Mindy, like her space, like this is her room, her family. So Mindy's kind of a threat to Meredith, so for attention and everything. So she kind of takes out a lot of snaps on Mindy.
I think what makes this play so funny is there's just so many great lines that are in there, and there are moments when the audience will obviously be laughing, but you'll see the actresses laughing too, and it's an honest laugh. It's just, really these women are cracking each other up, and that's kind of their goal, is to, get away from, the dreading of the wedding and to just relax and have fun with one another and enjoy each other's company. And I think that's really where the humor comes from, especially, when you have such clashing personalities. It's really a joy to watch.
Women who are in college are fighting for the same things. So they can easily relate to that struggle. And it's fun. You know what it means to do these things. You know what it means to give your friend a hard time. You know what it means to roll your eyes at an idea and to have somebody catch you roll your eyes and then to come clean. So I feel like it's very doable and very accessible material, and it's written so well that it's hilarious. So I think with the aid of Ellen Ball, we're going to have a really good time doing this.